Jahmyr Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
If you're a Martin Lawrence fan, in the words of Varnell Hill, did you miss me? Ladies and gentlemen, glad to be back. The Braylon Network Show here on Woodward Sports 2.0. Your boy is back, and I am excited. I feel like the world's kind of turning upside down a little bit. We'll get into that a little bit, but first we say hello to my co-host, Anson Wells. Thanks for holding it down yesterday, as always.
Hello. We had fun yesterday. We were a little all over the place, so I am glad that you are back. I want to hear about your day yesterday. Did you play well?
I did. Let me get this cord out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I know, as I say, what's up to the chat? Sorry, the cord got stuck in the chair. We like to do things live on the air, let you know that we are real, we are authentic, and we're here for you. Chat, how you guys feeling? Missed you guys yesterday, man.
Smash that like button.
Smash the like button. Glad to be back. I know you guys were a little bit worried yesterday. Got some news from your Detroit Lions that may have sent you in a little bit of a tizzy, bit of a panic. We'll get to that in a second. As I say, what's up to the rest of the crew? That is Sweet Potato Cam. What's up, brother?
What is up, B? Nice to have you back.
Good. I miss that chill energy, man. The Sweet Potato Can. What's up, man? Just
Appreciate that. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. Good to be back. Good to see everybody's good in your way, your family.
Oh yeah, everyone's gravy right now. Mom's is in much better spirits. Love you big time. And the fam is all good. Yeah.
Good. B Lad over there representing Lawrence Tech University. Wide receiver number 2 over there, feeling good over there.
Absolutely, Bray. Always a blessing to be on here, baby.
Is that that Matthew McConaughey duo they got going on? Like, you mix those two together, and it's Matthew McConaughey for sure. Man. You mix them together, that's Matthew McConaughey for sure. All right.
That's right. That is hilarious.
And last but not least, it is my right hand and my TD. It is Justin Satawa, who finally we got on the golf course this past Sunday. Justin, how are you doing?
I am doing great.
Did you brag a little bit?
Yeah, how'd that go?
I know. I saved it for today.
Did.
I literally did not talk about it on the show yesterday. And here, you know what? Here, I'm not gonna play the whole hole, but here's the final putt that sealed the deal. For the whole win, I will say before I hit this putt, because when the cameras are on, Braylon's kicking my ass today. All right, this is a part 3 special. All right, I'm just gonna say that disclaimer now. Game recognized game.
And yo's do too. Hey. For the win. So basically what we did is the last 3 holes of the round, we gave him a stroke, and then we played 3. Saw what happened. He didn't even need the stroke. He beat me fair and square.
Straight up.
As they said in the rounders, so I had to pay that man his money. As it relates to the total round, I shot 88. And Justin shot 92.
92.
So I beat him by 4. But when the lights are on, that's what matters. And when the lights were on, both part 3s, we played a hole with Justin and Braylon. He beat me on both part 3s. So I will say when the lights are on, Justin Satawa comes to play. But I will take the win.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that the win is actually the complimentary prize, if you will? I wanted to win on camera.
Yeah, well, I mean, you won the whole round, though,
Yeah.
and honestly, like, that is the more succulent prize, Braylon, like, to be, for lack of better term.
You got
However,
it starts. It starts.
Vid or it's not real?
It's not. No pauses out of me. Yesterday, I did take a break from the show to do a Kid Again outing up in Ann Arbor. I want to say the morning show. Justin was up there earlier, got some content, did a show. You were able to see what it was. One of my favorite things that I do is the Kid Again outing. It's along the same lines of Mott's Children's Hospital. A lot of these kids, and for lack of a better word, man, some terminal spaces. And some of these kids, this outing is all they have. Like, they legitimately go the course of a whole year being inside, being in care, being in hospice, being in the doctors, being around the family, and that's it. This outing gives them a chance to get outside, gives them a chance to take pictures, gives them a chance to putt, do some things, and have some fun. Some of the people that I met over here, I met Lola, I met Stella, shout out to Stella, I met Makai, shout out to Makai. Great times to be had, and it's very interesting that it's called a kid again. You know, deep down inside, we all want to be kids. We also have a little bit of that kid thing in us. But for them, man, those kids are more brave, than any of us. They're strong, they're resilient, they're brave, and they show us that Yeah, about to get choked up talking about it. But just long story short, it was a fun outing. It was great to be around people that support these kids and great to be around the A Kid Again Foundation. I'm glad that Woodward Sports, we partner up with charities like this. So I had a lot of fun, but it wasn't on the golf course. It was with those kids. But being at that golf course, which is U of M golf course, is right there on Stadium. And if you know, you know. You know when you're on that golf course, you know what you can see. It is the big house. And I will say this, I got a chance to see some of the practice, the University of Michigan Wolverines at Schembechler Hall yesterday. Man, do I miss Michigan. Man, do I love this time of year. Man, yeah, play it.
I wasn't welcome into Schembechler Hall. However, from the parking lot of the the Chrysler Center, you could walk through and you could look through the fence. And I did look, and I watched the DBs, the linebackers, and the defensive line all working out there yesterday, Braylon. I had that same itch. I saw them working out across the field, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going over there. I gotta go take a look." And it got me amped up, baby.
I have goosebumps talking about it today, right now. You see the hat I'm wearing, the Michigan hat, for a reason, man. Let's do this. Let's take a step back. We'll save that for the second hour show because we do have some Michigan conversation. We do have a little bit of college football conversation, so I think that'll play in to the second hour. I'll try to hold until then, but I can't wait to talk about it because I was chomping at the bit. I felt like I was 19 years old getting ready for my second year, in which the first year that I started for the University of Michigan Wolverines. But something happened with the Lions. Actually, a couple things happened with the Lions. A lot has happened with the Lions in the span of a couple days. You got guys getting injured. Guys taking personal days. You got comments coming out.
Holdouts.
Hold-ins. Holdouts. A lot going on with the Detroit Lions. Let's start here. I know you guys talked about it yesterday. Center projected to start. Picked up in the offseason. Free agent Cade Mays. Fractured wrist or fractured parts of his wrist. Will be out 8 to 10 weeks. Let's start here. What was the conversation yesterday when everybody got that information? I want to know there before we go in. Or how was it, Chet? What was the conversation?
It was 50-50. 50-50 doom, 50-50, it's no big deal. And then I think as we got through the conversation, it ended up kind of getting a little more worrisome because it's not just that. And it's line item after line item of little problems that we're having. We threw around the term the death by 1,000 cuts right now. And starting to stack up on that, like literally looking at this list of things. And I know that we've got a graphic somewhere of all the different injuries that we have, but this is not the stuff that you want to see for a successful start to a training camp and a season and a preseason. This is the exact opposite of what you want to see, man.
Yeah, 1,000%. As you see the graphic made by Sweet Potato Cam, you see a lot of the injuries, the nags, the injuries. In red, obviously, is Cade Mays. That's a more serious injury. He's going to miss 8 to 10. I think Isaiah Pacheco is another one of those injuries. Is going to miss some substantial amount of time. Don't know what the timetable is on that. Let's just hold there. Are you worried? Are you worried? And I'll tell you where I am. For me, not necessarily worried in the sense of, oh my God, the season's over. No, the season's not over, but I will say this is not the way that you want to start. The Detroit Lions last year, the offensive line was the weak spot for the Lions. It was the weak spot for the Lions. You went and got Cade Mays this offseason to be your guy, to anchor the center for the Detroit Lions and an offensive lines to give Jared Goff a sense of protection through the middle. A lot of that interior rush last year, they struggled through the middle on Grand Glasgow. And then you look at Blake Miller. You go pick him up in the offseason, in the draft, in the first round to shore up that offensive line. Looking at that offensive line right now, it's looking like this. Penei Sewell, left tackle. Juice Scruggs, left guard. Neese or McLaughlin, center. Ratledge, right guard. And then Bourne, right tackle, because Blake Miller is playing the secondary role right now. Looking at that offensive line, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, theoretically, right, we believe that the defense is a better unit in the second half because we get our Brian Branch back and we get everybody supposedly healthy and playing right. So that means that the offense has to score a lot of points in the first half of the season, the first 2 months of the season. Now you got your center out. We go back to Braylon's comment about the offensive line looking left and right and not knowing each other. You look at all the little things. I mean, we look at a new backup quarterback. I think that Josh Dobbs is a better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater, but he has no familiarity with anybody on the team. It's all of these little things that you are adding up. And I'll be honest, this cost the Lions a game. This costs the Lions a game. I go from 12 to 11 because of this. And we saw it last year. The offensive line struggled. They didn't communicate well. You had what we hope was a far inferior offensive coordinator in his first season failing in week 1. And this is probably something that you'll see with this team over the first month while they're trying to figure out their identity as a new offense that is supposed to be a 12, 13 personnel offense. So your tight ends better be really good. Oh, wait, 2 of them are out for the season. Another small cut here and there. So this mauling offensive line and this scheme that Petzing's bringing in, daily you are losing the big men that are creating that push up front to make this system work. So until they get fully healthy, or one of these guys that we'll talk about in a second that are your possible backups at center, maybe they catch fire and are a great addition for you. But I think that the thing that has to carry this team, your offense, is going to struggle to get off the ground quickly to start the season.
As Anson mentioned, Josh Dobbs signed yesterday with the Detroit Lions. We'll get into that a little bit next segment, if you will. But just sticking with the offensive line right now. Anson mentioned it. The comment that I made about a couple weeks ago is when the Lions' offensive line, when they look to the right and they look to the left, they're not playing next to anybody that they played with last year. This is all new space. This is all new ground. There's no familiarity. And that's what training camp is for. Training camp is for the familiarity. Training camp is so that you can build that chemistry, so that you understand what the guy is like on your left or the right if you don't have any guy to the left or your right. And they can't necessarily do that. It seems like each day in practice has been a different iteration of what that starting offensive line is going to look like. Justin, you talked about it a little bit yesterday. Right now, the Detroit Lions playing with Neese as well as McLaughlin, Seth McLaughlin, Ohio State, Alabama, in that secondary role, now starter role for the Detroit Lions. Where are you with the offensive line, given the injuries and necessarily with their starting Bourne over Blake Miller?
Look, I'm not concerned.
Okay.
And maybe that's crazy on me. I'm not dooming. I'm not glooming. I look at the D-lines of the teams that you're going to play, and even if you look at the Bills' D-line, the Bills' D-line is in no great chase. The only great D-line you play in the first 6 weeks of the season when you have Cade Mays on IR is the Carolina Panthers, who have Derek Brown, who's an unbelievable interior defensive lineman. Other than that, I'm not feeling that scared. The pedigree that McLaughlin has, like I talked about yesterday, he's from the Saban tree. He left Alabama because Saban was gone. He was a very good college center. He won the best college center award in college. He was an All-American. Like, those are the type of pedigree that you're looking for. Like, if you were to go down at like a center in the NFL, like, that's a guy you can look at and you're feeling confident about. And they were talks, and I went back and looked at reports of last preseason of him when he was with the Bengals, and they were pretty confident on how he looked, that they were feeling like he could be a serviceable back in this league. So if in terms of where we were at last year, when we were in terms of Cologne and Kingsley, like all those guys, I'm chilling with the guy who has the pedigree of Seth McLaughlin, who only fell out of the draft because he tore his Achilles.
Hear me out. I don't think doom and gloom is the right term, because I'm not trying to be doom and
I'm
gloom.
not talking about you, Braylon. I'm talking about the chat.
Wait, well, even the chat. I don't think doom and gloom is the right word. I think more along the lines of being honest. Like when we talked about the offensive line as it relates to last year, it was nothing but negativity. When you got to the offseason and you're trying to correct it. When you look at this offensive line right now, B-Lad, tell me if I'm wrong, last year, who struggled at left tackle? It was Tate Rowledge. Okay, excuse me, Taylor Decker
at the time, yeah.
So you just kind of switch roles. Now your right tackle is a guy that you don't necessarily trust in, which is Larry Bourne, and a young Blake Miller. Panay is right tackle, now he's in the left tackle, so that spot is cert. Scruggs at left guard. How are we feeling about Juice Scruggs at left guard?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like it is no doom and gloom, but you can be aware
honest.
of it. Yeah, you can be aware of what's going on. And, like, the main thing is like, at the end of the day, you got to keep Goff healthy. Like, that's the one thing. Like, running game, in a running game sense, you can scheme a good running game even with, pulling blockers. Like, just getting guys in front of guys. Like, as long as we have a running back as quick as Jahmyr Gibbs, like, it doesn't take that long for him to hit a hole. You know what I'm saying? So, but as far as like the pass protection goes, though, that's a whole different story. It's like you got to keep Goff healthy at the end of the day, and obviously too, better than anybody else. As one unit, these camp reps are so incredibly important.
Very important.
Because you learn what the guy next to you essentially does, and you guys are the whole operation of the offense, essentially.
Here's the other part of it, too. Let's get back to McLaughlin. Justin, you're absolutely correct as it relates to the first 4 games of the season. Once again, those first 4 games of the season, they get you rocking, they get you rolling. It's an easier slate than it has been. Carolina Panthers are ranked 19th going into the season, defensive line. The Buffalo Bills are ranked 23rd. The Jets are 16th, and the Saints are 28th. All fine. As it relates to McLaughlin, he's never played a game in the regular season of the NFL. We're talking about what he did in 2024 and who he was. He got hurt starting before. He got hurt in 24, Jay?
Yeah.
So you're talking about he won that.
25. He got hurt in 25.
Okay, good. All right, bet. So he in 2024 had that season, won Big Ten, offensive lineman of the year. 25, he gets hurt. So didn't play 25. Has no NFL experience in terms of regular season, and now you're putting him in a situation to be the center where you struggled last year with Graham Glasgow, and a lot of the conversation was the interior blitz, the interior rush, the interior pressure. Now you're putting a guy that has no NFL experience, at least right now, season hasn't started yet, you're putting him as the starting center for this team that needs to be revamped. I understand that those first 4 games play into your favor, but ladies and gentlemen, this offensive line right now, as constructed, they don't know each other, and they're not necessarily on pace to be where you want them to be.
El Gato is in camp with El Slapo saying, y'all acting like Panay got hurt. Panay played every game last year, if I remember correctly. Still 9-8.
Yeah.
Still couldn't move the ball at times at the end of the season.
He's 1 unit out of 5.
Couldn't run it with the highest paid running back now currently in the NFL. Yeah. I love Panay, and the guy is a future Hall of Famer. Dare I say generational. But this doesn't matter because there's 4 other guys on your line. And realistically, when you're looking at that gap between your left guard and your center, that was your problem last year. And it was your problem this year. And even with the Cade Mays signing, it still was a massive question mark for you. So now that we still don't know who our starting left guard is, we don't know who our starting center is now either. So that only is going to hurt Panay. And as great as he is, and much as he can put everything on his back, there's 4 other guys that are really, really important there. I mean, come on, man. Yesterday, DC's talking about Tate Rallage taking snaps at center. Now you're really screwed.
Yeah. Does Panay play center? Can Panay play all 5 positions at the same time, is what Anson is saying.
Give me 4 more Panays, please.
Real. Not even disrespecting. Panay Sewell is, although a very large man, he is one man.
Just one.
That is now playing left tackle, a position he hasn't played in 5 years. So he's trying to figure out what that position looks like again. Juice Scruggs is a guy that we got for cheap. He was a giveaway player by another team. Larry Bourne was a giveaway player by another team. So our starting offensive line, as currently constructed right now, is the best offensive lineman in the league, a giveaway player, a player that hasn't played in a year, and the last time that was college football, a guy that we believe is going to take that next step, and Tate Rallage, which I believe too. And then Larry Bourne, who was another giveaway player by the Miami Dolphins, and we saw how he was when we played against them in practice last year. That's not an offensive line that strikes the fear in anybody. That's not an offensive line that I not necessarily feel comfortable or confident in protecting Jared Goff and getting Jahmyr Gibbs the space that he needs to, as Justin talks about.
A dose of reality here from our friend Freddie Felt. I used to gatekeep like I was the tough guy fan. The more time goes by, the more concerned I get with the team having everything go right during a Super Bowl run. And that's what it comes down to. Is everything going right? Everything falling into place, staying away from the injury bug, getting that early consistency and chemistry in OTAs, into camp, into preseason, into the regular season. You didn't have any of that in this offensive line before this season started. And now you are robbed of the possibility of that going into week 1. The starting offensive line in week 1, it's pretty much guaranteed will be different from the starting line in week 12. And that's not by design. And in fact, when you put all this money into these superstar players, these Hall of Fame talents like Jahmyr Gibbs and these others, I'm sorry, but you did not put enough time and money, energy into this offensive line. There's still some guys sitting out there, old men like Zeitler, but this team is probably at a point right now where they need a depth move. and a guy that might be
wouldn't
able to
mind
step in
Zeitler.
and start right away.
So it seems like last year, and I'll let you jump in on that, B-Lad. It seems like last year, Brad Holmes not willing to keep certain players, bring in certain players, is now all of a sudden affecting us again this year as you look at the depth of the offensive line, which we thought we had, but one injury. We got one injury, and we're already having conversations about what this line looks like. Just not necessarily in a very overly confident space, B-Lad.
Right, that's the thing, too. And I did want to touch on something. There was someone in the chat that said that Lions fans are gaslighting, fans like that, and we're fear-mongering and all that stuff. It's like, no, I mean, this is the actual truth. Like, injuries suck, and especially on the O-line. And on paper, this doesn't look like what we all really expected, I feel like, in a way. I feel like this whole offseason we were talking about how the O-line improved. Yeah. And I do feel like it did improve to a certain extent, for sure. There were some guys on the O-line late in the season last year where they were actual liabilities. And Goff was actually, it looked kind of bad for a little bit there. But the thing is like now going into camp, these, like I said earlier, these are the reps that matter the absolute most. And this is a whole new group. So, I do firmly believe, I do think there could be a chance that, in those first couple of games that should be statement games, they can improve a little bit. Definitely. There is 100% room for improvement. We all see it throughout the NFL, especially early too. So we're not just going to, sit here and say that they can't do it, because it is possible. It's always possible.
You know how high I am on the Carolina Panthers. It's very interesting to see what happens game 4 as it relates to the Lions versus the Carolina Panthers in Carolina. Justin, I'm going to rephrase the question to you then. I feel like I'm in the court of law right now. Let me rephrase the question to the man on the stand. Is it fair to say it this way as it relates to the uncertainty about the offensive line? They're trying to build chemistry. They're trying to understand what Drew Petzing is trying to implement, trying to put down, etc. Meanwhile, the guys starting right now, we don't know if they're starting. Outside of the left tackle and the right guard, everybody is in the dogfight. Scruggs was fighting for the start over Christian Mahogany. Cade Mays was the center. Now you have Neese and McLaughlin trying to see what they can do. The right tackle is Bourne, a guy that I saw play and I don't necessarily like, going against a young guy in Blake Miller who are trying to figure out, can he be the guy at right tackle that they drafted 17th overall. They don't have any certainty outside of Peneso.
And I think that, going into the year, before the free agent period, there was the same type of uncertainty, and we still were operating as we can still be that team that can challenge to win a Super Bowl, and that I'm not changing that mentality over a training camp injury. And I know the uncertainty is scary, like it was scary last year, but that's the NFL. You see time and time again teams who
every team's dealing with it.
Every team's dealing with offensive line injuries and issues, and it's hard to build out a perfect offensive line, and a lot of teams don't even have it. Like when you look at some of the Chiefs teams, like they had pieces on their Super Bowl offensive lines that were below average, but it was one or two guys, so you could manage with elite talent around them, and they have Patrick Mahomes who is mobile. Yeah. But that's the thing, the money that you are saving on Goff versus Mahomes, you should be using to go out and get a Kevin Zeitler right now. And looking at, I know that he wanted to go to Nashville, and I know that he wanted to be closer to his family.
I feel like that gets overblown, though, Jay. Like, I'm not cutting you up. I feel like
I don't think they were willing to pony up the bread.
That part. I don't think it had anything to do with wanting to go to Nashville and his family. I think it was they believed that they were good without him, and they didn't want to pay that bread. And it wasn't even that much.
It wasn't.
No, it was $9 or $8 million, and now that he's a year older, you probably don't even have to pay him that much. You're probably looking at 6 or 7. Like I think that's so worth it. You have $12 million left in cap space. It still gives you 6 to play with something at the deadline in case of an injury. I think that this is a type of move where you need to secure your young line, and then when you get Cade Mays back, you are looking at now Penne, Zeitler, Mays, Ratledge, Blake Miller. I feel so confident that is a Super Bowl caliber offensive line.
Yeah, realistically, looking at this offensive line, I feel like this is a similar move to when Jimmy Roder got hurt, because we believe that Jimmy Roder was the one that the Lions were excited about at that position, not necessarily Malcolm Rodriguez. When they got hurt, they instantly went out and they went and got Devin White. They didn't play any games. They didn't waste any time because they understood what they needed to be at that position. This feels like a similar move. That offensive line is the most important, Kyle. As much as the defensive line, we clamor for what Moore can do, what Wonham can do, what the safeties are going to be. We'll get into Chuck Clark and Isaac Tesla. I like that. I like that type of stuff. But the offensive line is it. This seems like a move that could be just like a Devin White move. Who's out there? What's going on? Because I don't know if I'm confident enough in this offensive line.
You'd make that move? You get on the phone with Zeitler?
Hell yeah.
What about you, Justin? You pay him
I was the
seven?
one who brought it up. Yeah.
All
no
day?
question.
Because if you get on the phone with Zeitler, now you put Zeitler at the right guard, which he's already played in the system, which he's already played for Hank Fraley. And then the guy that you've been working at center for the last year and some change now, which is, Tate Ratledge. Now if you put him at center, now I'm feel A-okay because I know who's at the right guard position.
Yep.
Like, he is a consummate pro. How is his health? We would have to take a look at that because he's no spring chicken. He's entering year, this would be 12, 13. This would be 14 for him. So he's no spring chicken, especially at that right guard position. But, yeah, absolutely.
I hate what that does to Tate developmentally. If he has to spend a half season at center, ultimately a position that we don't have in mind for him long term. But you got to do what you got to do. And Zeitler is a guy that's very comfortable here. They liked having him. I don't know what prevented him from coming back. There was obviously some negotiations that did not work out, but it's 4 months. He's already worked his way through most of the offseason stuff. He didn't have to do that. So getting him here, getting him into camp, and giving yourself that kind of depth, because right now, Bray, one more injury on the line, and I know your mom's watching, but we're effed.
Yeah, no, 100%. Shout out to Mom Dudes. Actually, shout out to my cousin Jakarta, who's in the studio as well. Blood is always thicker than water. But you get back to that situation, you talk about McLaughlin, and I understand he played at Ohio State. Just like I was told Talik Williams played at Ohio State when they drafted him, and I understand that. You know what I'm not high on? I'm not high on the defensive line play in the Big Ten. So when you tell me somebody was elite left tackle or somebody was an elite center, I'm not looking at them because they're not going against SEC defensive line. Like, and if that's unfortunate, it is what it is. They're not seeing Georgia, Florida, Bama,
Monsters
South
down
Carolina,
south.
Texas A&M.
Yes, sir.
They're not seeing those guys. You're seeing a bunch of Rutgers, Marylands, and guys like that. So I don't know what I don't know, and I also know that he has not played in the NFL yet.
Yeah.
So
and yet another guy hasn't played in the NFL yet. So that's two guys on your line. One of them pretty heralded in Blake Miller, who we're hearing some things out of camp that he's got some deficiencies, maybe some growing.
He's pretty much
growing
starting
to
that
do.
first preseason game.
But then you get a guy that hasn't played football in a year and has never played at the NFL level, who is looking like maybe your starter. I don't know if Juice Scruggs is going to be that. The soft tissue issue has kept him out of the lineup. So I think you'll see a battle there. But I guess one thing that I am seeing here out of the Super Chat is Michael Wary saying the silver lining is the injuries are happening
now
early. I'm just saying.
This is true. The injuries are happening early. That's always a good thing. I mean, we're still technically a month away from the season, just under a month, give or take. But with that being said, you mentioned those injuries. Somebody else got injured.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else got injured.
Yes, sir.
At the running back position. Did you guys talk about Isaiah Pacheco yesterday?
Yes, a little bit.
Did you talk about that? Like, how are we with that? Because this is another injury. When you look at it in the full scale of things, the offensive line, how are we with the Isaiah Pacheco? Chad, how you feel about that? We'll come back. We'll talk about it because are you mad now that was the move? We'll get back to it in a second. First, let's get you a message from Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. 2,700 gyms around this country. It is the gym for you. Trainers on staff, gyms are clean, and then there's no judgment. Walk to the beat of your own drum. Have a good time. You work out, whether you're starting, excelling, or taking it just to that next step. Come to it at Planet Fitness, man. We're all strong on this planet, and you guessed it. That planet is Planet Fitness.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What's up, guys? Anson here to tell you about all-day IPA from our friends at Founders Brewing. Guys, you're making a decision this weekend. Don't choose the beer. Choose the king of the IPA category for the last 15 years. Never bitter, always refreshing and crisp, and that 4.7% alcohol by volume, perfect to last you throughout the day. Make the choice. Make it all-day IPA. When you do, though, make sure you drink it responsibly. And it's the Aldo Eye Center, guys. You see D-Mac. He's not only a fan, he's a customer too, guys. $19.99 per eye. Check it out. It's thousands less than the competition, but they don't really have competition. They are the leaders in the state for over 30 years, over 100,000 successful LASIK procedures, an 8-minute procedure, a painless procedure, and one that will leave you seeing 20/20 the very next day. So I know you've been thinking about it. Why wait? Numbers there, 248-553-9800. They are the Aldo Eye Center.
And we are back. Keep the super chats coming. Keep the comments coming. Always love to see the engagement from the chat. I heard I called it straight. Heard they said somebody was declining like I did in my last couple years in the league. You know what? When you tear your MCL and you tear your meniscus as you get older, as you go from being 22 to 23 to 24 to 30, 31 dealing with injuries, everybody tends to decline.
12 surgeries?
You show me the guy that had a better season in year 10 than year 1, 2, or 3.
12
don't worry, I'll wait.
Surgeries?
He doesn't count.
Barry Sanders.
He doesn't count.
12 surgeries, right?
Nope, Barry Sanders isn't. This is true.
How many surgeries?
Me, let's see, tore ACL, staph infection, Achilles clip, but not my Achilles, just a scar, meniscus, and a scope, and an elbow. 6.
Oh, I thought you had more.
6, 7.
Man.
6, 7.
I think you're leaving a couple out.
You know I am. You know I am. I got the people's watching. But it doesn't bother me. At the end of the day, the declination is the declination. It happens when it happens. The more injuries you put on somebody, typically, the faster their career declines. Like a running back by the name of Isaiah Pacheco. Where are we with the Isaiah Pacheco injury? Doesn't seem like he's going to miss a lot of time, but he will miss substantial time. I remember when we picked him up, when we signed him as a free agent, a lot of people were concerned. The injuries that he had. He may not be a Derrick Henry-sized running back, but damn it if he does not run hard like a Derrick Henry-sized running back. Now he's out, and now we're trying to figure out what the number 2 running back is going to be. Where are we with that injury? Big one or not a big one?
Well, you know, when you got the chat debating on over whether Saylor is going to be good or not, yeah,
then it's a big injury.
It's a big injury.
Yeah.
You signed Raheem Blackshear. I know he torched this team a few years ago, but that's a replacement level running back at the very best. Hence, he's replacing somebody who was hurt and held out. But that running back room is not deep. You have to have an effective runner if you're going to see 3 years of this Gibbs deal. If you have Gibbs out there touching that ball too many times, hitting that 375 mark, heaven forbid that 400-plus touch mark, well, history says that he won't be playing all 3 of those years that you're paying him all kinds of money for. Pacheco, to me, it's definitely a downgrade from Monty. And if you're getting Pacheco from 3 years ago, okay, I'm on board. But he's been hurt for 2 years, and now he's hurt to start a 3rd year. Unfortunately, this is starting to feel like a lot of the veteran signings that you've seen Brad do over the years with guys that are supposed to be rebounding from injuries. We just never saw the rebound here.
B-Lad, you brought up a point. You said that, you know what, everybody's dealing with injuries, and you're absolutely correct. That's what happens around this time in training camp. Some more than others, but everybody's dealing with injuries. Now, I would ask, what does the strength and conditioning situation look like as it relates to the guys? How are they warming up for practice? Because when you start to see a lot of soft tissue injuries, when you see groins, when you see hamstrings, which the Lions have a lot of right now, that may mean that they are not warming up before they're taking off and getting going to practice. That would be a question. I don't know. So once again, it is just a question. But you talked about those injuries. Are those injuries happening to the positions that they were the worst at, though?
Yes.
Like you look at the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions offensive line, Now Cade Mays, the guy we go get in the free agent to replace Graham Glasgow, now he's hurt. You go get rid of David Montgomery. You got rid of David Montgomery for whatever happened, whether it was Monty went into your room or whether you went into his room, you guys had a conversation. He's no longer here. Now you have an offensive line that is trying to figure it out and a second running back that is trying to figure it out. These are reasons why I am less confident. Yeah. These are reasons why I'm not as confident as maybe I was a week before, or maybe some of the people that are still confident in the chat. That right there, that's concerning.
It is. It is concerning to a certain extent, and you're right, Braylon, because that you're not wrong when it said, like, when we had the holes and we found the replacements for the holes, and now, you know, our replacements are hurt. So my thing on it is we obviously have the talent on this team to make a playoff push. There is no question about that at all. But it's what's around that talent is what's concerning. Now, I do believe that talent is good enough to kind of carry that, you know, surrounding cast with them 100%. But Anson was completely right when he talked about the RB depth. It went from us having, like, we had Gibbs or Montgomery, Gibbs, and we had even Reynolds was getting some time at a certain point. Like,
I'm missing Netflix today.
It was like, you know what I mean? So it's true. Like, we do see a lot of other teams, you know, a lot of big names on some other teams go down in camp. And that's another thing, too, is it's just camp. So we're not trying to blow this out of proportion and say it's going to be throughout the whole year. The NFL season is extremely long now. Like, it feels like it's they keep adding stuff over and over. We're seeing games more frequently. Oh, I know it is. I'm not necessarily mad at it, but, you know, you got to think about that too. Yeah. Is they have so much time. There's so much time, and we've seen so many more things happen in the new age of the NFL. So
we want them healthy at the end of the season anyway.
No, absolutely right. And I think the coaches have that kind of mindset where even if it's like something extremely little in camp, they're not going to they're going to keep him out now, so they're going to be ready to go. And I don't think we're going to lose Pacheco for that long. I don't
not at all.
Off the reports, but you know that's the thing too, is you got to always count into that aspect as well. Like training staff, coaches talk, they know how long the season is. They're gonna take as much precaution in the beginning as they can, so they can have you when it matters.
Dante151 in the $5 super chat here. This is a topic, Justin, that we got into yesterday with some other names, because this is just an early thing that you just mentioned. It's not supposed to keep Pacheco out a long time, but I don't like our depth at this position. Dante151 wants to know: would you rather have Pacheco or Najee Harris, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, or Raheem Mostert at running back?
Raheem Mostert?
Yeah, I kind of like Mostert, but he's so old now.
Or we'll throw in Netflix.
I know he did not look right in Pittsburgh, and I know he looked very different from he did at Alabama, and I know it went progressively down. Part of that is Pittsburgh's fault. I wouldn't necessarily mind having Najee Harris.
I thought he looked good in San Diego. With the Chargers.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. Out of that list, I would not necessarily mind Najee.
He's a guy that you put in there as the thumper, which you need. Because, I'm looking at this list, and I got to be honest with you. You know, like Kareem Hunt off of it, Austin Eckler off of it, Gibson off of it. These guys have very similar profiles to poor profiles to what you get out of Jahmyr Gibbs. You need that thumper. And that's kind of what he would be bringing. But he also, when you bring him in there, you're not assuming it's always going to be a run. You can get him the ball through the air, and he's very good catching the ball and making moves at that point. And then Mostert, I don't have any problem with that at all. The guy's he's older, but everywhere he goes, he produces. He's a consummate
He's fast.
And he'll thump, man. He'll thump.
He's fast. Just looking at Isaiah Pacheco, man, like just going back down his injury list, you start in 22. He's had a torn labrum, broken hand, broken finger, concussed, sprained shoulder, another concussion, fractured fibula, which is the ankle, if you will, rib injury. Last year, he had a right MC sprain last year. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is a right MC sprain. This year, it's the same freaking MCL, Justin.
Great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, Braylon. More on Najee Harris, because I do like.
More on Najee Harris.
Y'all told me bring the facts today.
You did bring the facts, but that's depressing as hell because now our RB room is depleted. But I do like Najee Harris, considering the fact, he's put up 4 straight outside of his last year with the Chargers, 1,000-yard seasons. Yeah. He was supposed to be the starting running back for the Chargers until he got hurt in his first game. However, we need. I don't know what his health status is. I mean, that might be something. He might not even be ready for camp yet. I mean, I believe it was ACL or Achilles. It was one of those major injuries that he might still be recovering from. And as much as I would love Najee Harris, and I think it's a very similar outside of the fact that Monty wasn't hurt when he came from Chicago, but it's one of those like misfit toys off the island that still has a ton of potential and a ton of flash, like Monty had in Chicago before he came here. I actually really do like this Najee Harris flavor that Dante's thrown us.
2 questions that will come back to ask to not necessarily say
home. 3 games. Sorry, I don't mean to disrespect Najee Harris like that.
Yeah, hunt is too strong of a word, but 2 questions that will come back for Brad Holmes within the next 5-6 years. What if, as it relates to David Montgomery and as it relates to Kevin Zeitler? All right, let's switch gears. Let's keep the chat going. Let's switch gears. Let's talk about another player with another different type of situation. Did you hear Kirby Joseph took a day?
What kind of day?
I heard time. So maybe let me start there.
Like Cedar Point?
Time.
Like a day to Cedar Point?
Is time a day? Is time a week? Is time 2 days? What is the time being taken for? Is it time for mental? Is it time for funeral? Somebody else, some family, a loved one, some things going on?
Social media day?
Because I have questions about this. Do we have sound on Dan Campbell about
Mental
this?
health day?
I have sound.
What kind of day?
I just have questions.
Me too.
I have questions as it relates to Kirby Joseph, the all-pro safety for the Detroit Lions.
But you'd said Kirby Joseph would be reevaluated at 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks is tomorrow. What does the next steps look like for Kirby?
Well, Kirby right now, first of all, he's dealing with a personal issue right now. All right, but his rehab is coming along very well. Okay, so that is I still see him on the Branch plan, if that makes sense. And Branch is doing well too. So those guys, we're talking about on down the road. The season's already begun, but I like where Kirby's at.
So we don't know. Dan says it is a personal matter. We'll take Dan at his word, and we hope that Kirby Joseph and everything and everybody involved is okay. That is what we do. We're humans, so we'll start off with that. When you hear this, though, he said it. He's pushing that down the line. There will be no Kirby Joseph for a while. Where are you with this conversation and what the personal day is? Would you have preferred if he came on and let you know what that day was?
No, it's personal. Right. That's a player's business. All right? I appreciate that. I don't know. That's none of mine. If Dan says that their rehab's going well, there's no reason why Dan has to lie to us and make us as a fan base just be upset with him for giving us the wrong timetable of Kirby Joseph. Obviously, he's not a doctor, but he's doing his best to predict the timetable. It seems like they're both moving along well, getting into at least some football movement, not necessarily into practice and stuff, but they're moving their body in football ways, which is very important at this stage of their rehab. So I like where they're at. They feel confident about them coming back when they're going to come back. I mean, you need Mays, you need Kirby, you need Branch for when that gauntlet starts after the bye week. And then if you can have most of them back for a large period of that gauntlet, then I will be happy. But injuries are going to happen, and setbacks will probably happen, and I can't imagine that they're both going to play in the exact same week on the exact same timetable.
You're right. You're absolutely right. So, all right, fine. You know what? We'll leave that story then. Yeah, we'll take Dan at his word. We'll leave the story there. Nothing else to talk about as it relates to that.
You sure?
I'd say
because you guys did the same thing with Terrion.
I'm at.
Y'all swept that under the rug last time.
That was
don't forget, y'all swept that under the rug. I told you that was going to come back. This is the start, and I hope I'm really, really, really wrong. But I mean, I don't want to compare him to Antonio Brown. I don't want to compare him to Brandon Ayuk. But it starts with the wild stories, and I'm talking about reels in your own social media. And just a week ago, we were having fun and we were laughing. He's a good interview, but we were also silently inside like, man,
shut up,
reel it in. Yeah, shut up, dude. Shut up. Hit him with it. This is no conspiracy, though, man. Just watch and pay attention. This is how it works with social media these days, guys. A guy who's dealing with something that might be bigger than what we realize, which a degenerative knee issue, that kind of fits. That fits in one of those things. And if he's struggling with that, And there's more to the story. And of course, this is an in-house team, so they're not gonna give us any breadcrumbs as to what's actually going on. Well, he's great. We're going to have him for week 1. I mean, this is the guy that said he wasn't going to be on the PUP list. And the very same day, he's on the PUP list. All right? This guy's going to be there week 1. He's not in preseason. Week 1, he's not going to be on the sideline. So this is the start of something very, very concerning. And this is on the other side. With a secondary we're already very, very, very concerned with. Now you add that in with your offensive line. This is not the start you want, Lions fans. You wanted me to say it, Justin. SOL. You smell what the SOL is cooking, guys? This is not the start we want. I still see 11 wins. I still see them making a move in the playoffs. But to Wary's point, hopefully all this garbage is happening and infecting us in August and September, and we're looking real good come 2027
Bingo.
Calendar flip.
I agree with Anson as it relates to two things, actually. I agree with him as it relates to this isn't the start you want. Like, it's not. And anybody that says that, you're not blowing smoke, you're not doom and gloom. If you literally tell me this is the start you want, you're an effing liar. The second thing that I kind of agree with Anson on the conspiracy side, I didn't say I agree, and I didn't say this is true, but because of the conversations, because of the yelling, because of the Twitter, because of the back and forth, because of the rants, because of the reels, because of these things, because of the inconsistencies of the story as it relates to his knee, as it relates to the Lions and who said what and who brought what to attention. Because of all those things, and now it's him that needs a personal day. That is just cause for question. That's all. That it's interesting, dare I say.
Can I get some more? Give me some more.
See, I ain't gaslight you, but I mean,
Hit it.
I got you.
The Lions are setting the foundation to void his 3-year guaranteed deal.
ooh.
The very first step is the personal. Sorry, guys. I hope I'm right.
Now, where I will say Dan cleaned it up. We know Dan does not necessarily. He never lies at the podium. You can read through Dan. That's why he doesn't blow smoke. When Dan says rehab is going as planned, I take him at his word. All right, we'll take a quick commercial break and come back to some more. You talked about a new signing at quarterback. The backup quarterback in Detroit has been a fun topic for the past 6 years. It's been a fun topic, and I think it just got a little bit more fun. Also, somebody tried out for the Lions yesterday or the day before. I want to know, would you sign him? Would you sign him? When we get back, we'll talk about that. Let me know about Water Hazard.
Yes, will do. I will tell you guys about Water Hazard. Water Hazard is the very first canned vodka cocktail from Founders. It's a vodka-based cocktail, 5% ABV, that's citrusy, refreshing, and gluten-free. Get $5 cans at any Art & Jake's location in Michigan on Mondays, Thursdays, and Sundays. But remember to please drink responsibly.
The next generation of Detroit sports media is here. Crunch Time is back on Woodward Sports. Join Jeff Iafrate and Booner Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Taking Detroit sports coverage to the next level with massive interviews, viral moments, and the best live reactions. Get ready, Detroit. The young guns are taking over. Crunch Time on Woodward Sports.
Some days call for light, others lean bold. What about everything in between? All Day IPA, the easy choice for every day. Citrusy, crisp, refreshing. Flavor you can float with. Light on the hops, big on refreshment. 1's great. 2, even better. Brewed with you in mind. No shortcuts, no fuss. Big on flavor, never too much. All Day IPA. Hop into easy.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at DebtCityFC.com.
It's game on at Art & Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art & Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them, and that's not very nice.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You ready to change your life? Make the call today to Mortgage Pros, Michigan's #1 mortgage broker. They want you. 248-416-1361. We were out there a couple of months ago. Always tell you about this because it was a special day. Their 4th annual block party, tremendous energy, great employee culture. And then we had their owners on. Their owners were great, down-to-earth people that want to see you succeed and they want to help you succeed. So if you've been thinking about it, you want to change the trajectory for you and your family, make the call today or find them online at mtgopros.com, guys. And then I know you're hungry. I know I'm hungry. Woo! I didn't really eat breakfast. I'm starving and that looks good. As Sean Belize would say, look at it. But you don't have to look at it on the screen for much longer. You could just get online right now, use that code, the WWS26. That's going to save you $10 off of your $50 order, guys. And they got a lot more than just pizza. Get online to buddiespizza.com. Check out their menu. They're the original. Been doing it for 80 years. They're Buddies Pizza.
I was thinking in my head as we welcome you back to the Braylon Network show on Woodward Sports 2.0. I was thinking, like, what period did you eat pizza the most? Like, in what phase? Because I feel like everybody has a phase where it was like pizza. And no love to you-know-who. No. I'll go first. For me, it was my senior year, probably my senior year, if you will. Lived in Woodland Meadows, which is ironic. My cousin lived with me over there at the time. We wore Domino's out. And Domino's isn't even the best pizza. Like, I don't like Domino's pizza, whatever it was. But the convenience, man, we did so many parties, events, and just kick it sessions and chill sessions, and the team would come over. It was right there. We literally could pick it. We ate so much effing pizza in the span of 03 to around like 04, 05. Yeah, I took a break from pizza for about 4 or 5 years.
Freshman year in college.
So it's college.
So it's either that or, remember everybody had that double J sticker that was all over campus. Yeah. So it was subs or it was pizza, man. But like every
or Wendy's, baby.
And there was what? I mean, I went to state, you went to Michigan, so we both probably had a good 40 different pizza parlors competing for your business. Yeah. And you tried all of them because they all had the coupon that you had to maximize your money as a broke college student. But I'd have to say that was my pizza era.
Well, good. We're not broke anymore. We're not eating Domino's. We're eating Buddies. So you remember eating Buddies. 1940s. It is the best. All right, we're back to the show. Back to having conversation, talking about the Kirby Joseph situation. We moved on from that. Anson, have we?
No, we haven't.
I
mean, we kind of have. I mean, there's some people that are talking in the Super Chat. Maybe some of them want some replacements. Hey, 3 S's today, guys. Each and every day, smash that like button, please. Share the stream. It's right there. It's right next to the thumbs down. You want to hit the thumbs up? Move 2 over to share. Get it into your fantasy football thread. Get into your work thread. Get it to your people. Share Woodward. Please help us out.
Do they deserve me to go get the you-know-what and start that process, or have they been good enough? Should I go get them started now?
They weren't great yesterday. They were solid. Now, we got J-Rod Sayers in here kicking things off. We're going to save that towards the end. We'll see how they do. Right, we got something great for you. We teased it last week. But, again, get your Super Chats in. That's that final ask. The next Super Chat
I feel like
here.
if we keep teasing, they're going to get blue balls.
Well, it's a give and take. It takes 2 to tango, and Michael Wary brought it to the dance floor with $2. He says, Bray, if you mean Diggs, then yes. That's who you teased last segment?
1,000%. Before I went to break, we talked about an individual that did work out for the Detroit Lions, and we know that individual to be Trayvon Diggs. You're talking about an individual that led the league in interceptions in 2023, I want to say, with 11. Was on pace at one point. He was on pace to have like 18 interceptions.
So good that first half of the season, man.
And then everybody on D-line got hurt, and he started getting cooked. But realistically, I'd sign him. I'd sign him.
Yesterday.
I don't think he's old enough in terms of for the NFL veteran minimum where it's over a certain amount of money. Realistically, your secondary is in a situation where you need guys. Why not have a guy that you know has that ability and can play like that? Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just the name, and maybe I got excited. B-Lab, but when you talk about a secondary that needs pieces, needs players, and you're uncertain about a guy like Trayvon Diggs, I think you talk about depth. That's a different type of depth.
Yeah, but I disagree with you on that a little bit.
Push back.
Yes, I don't think adding Trayvon Diggs would really do anything to your defense. And we do have holes in our secondary, but we need holes that are better than Trayvon Diggs to fill. And that's the thing is he's had a lot of off-the-field stuff, locker room stuff. I just don't see it really making an impact with Detroit. I know he got signed by Green Bay last year, and they cut him after, the first week he was there. So, we saw it with our own two eyes. Jameson Williams blurred him up 3 times in the last 2 matchups. So, and we see our receivers always did very well against the Packers the Cowboys. When he was on the Cowboys. Yeah, the last couple times we played him. I just don't feel like it moves the needle really hardly at all. I don't feel like he would play all that much, to be honest with you.
So for me,
you can't play in our secondary then.
That's what I'm saying. That's I feel like they like Rocky Sin, and I mean, I know they weren't really too enthusiastic about Ennis Rakestraw, but I mean, it's still early, and I'm not saying Ennis Rakestraw is Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs has definitely done way more in his career. Don't get it twisted, chat. But I don't think where he's at right now as a football player would make much of an impact on this defense.
Well, I'll tell you where it would make an impact.
Just to bring in the camp.
I'll tell you where it would make an impact.
That would be the only exception.
No, it's more than that. It's because he's not your guy that's going to go out there and match up with the another team's Jameson Williams. Our biggest guy in the secondary is 6 foot that's healthy right now. Everybody else is between 5'9" and 5'11". There's one guy over 5'11" on our roster right now that would be playing week 1. Bring a 6'2", 200-pound, 195 guy in that has some experience, and you put him in the right matchups. Now, sure, he's going to get torched by a guy like Jordan Addison, but you put him out there with some size and in some of your zone schemes and some of the other stuff that you're going to do for that depth and for that size. Now, the concerns about the locker room stuff and the culture stuff, they wouldn't even have brought him here in the first place if they were really worried about that stuff. Now, whether he gets signed or not, I think that this team is in desperate need of size and depth. This is a move I don't hate at all for the right price.
Satawa, anything on this or not?
I dove into it yesterday. I think that the ability that he brings in terms of ball hawking, especially if you ever do get Kirby Joseph back fully healthy, those two, and we're talking about depth here. This is a guy, if he can just have 1 or 2 picks in the whole season playing as a backup cornerback, that is value. That is 2 turnovers that could define games for you. So I'm on board to bring him in on a small, veteran minimum type of salary and give him at least give him some road because he's got more, tread the tires. I think the more people have to believe.
To that conversation, realistically, when I was in 2012, the Seattle Seahawks brought in myself, Antonio Bryant, and T.O. I ain't know how to say his whole name. You know what I'm talking about. They brought T.O., myself, and Antonio Bryant in for a tryout. T.O. at that point was year what? I don't know. Antonio Bryant also older than me. They brought those individuals in just to see a tryout. Hey, what does T.O. have left in the tank? Hey, what does Antonio Bryant have left in the tank? A Pro Bowler, former Bolitnikoff. What does Braylon Edwards have left in the tank? Just brought him in just to see what it looks like. They ended up getting rid of Antonio Bryant. They kept T.O. for training camp, worked through training camp. I worked through training camp. And they ended up removing T.O. from the team because they didn't necessarily like what he had to bring to the squad. But it didn't hurt him. It didn't cost him anything, and they did get a chance to see if he still had something in that tank. Speaking of something in the tank, Josh Dobbs, the backup quarterback now for your Detroit Lions. Where are we at with that? With me, we've always talked about this, the backup quarterback. Who was our backup quarterback the last 4 years outside of Teddy Bridgewater?
Hendon Hooker!
And go back to the one that we just got rid of last year that everybody liked, et cetera, et cetera. We have had a laundry list of backup quarterbacks, none of them serviceable. As a backup quarterback, you just need him for a game or two. And Josh Dobbs has shown you at every single stop he's been at, he can give you a game or two.
Yes,
legitimately talking about 3,300. What is it? Last game he played against would have been January 25th. He filled in for the Arizona Cardinals, played against the 49ers. 326, 24 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns through the air, 90 passer rating. Every time he lines up, he has something decent. He is the NFL version of Jaylen Brown in the sense of intelligence.
And the Lions have been very, very blessed in their Iron Man quarterback.
Oh, don't even say it out loud.
I'm just saying.
It's too fragile right now.
I'm saying it's blessed. We're blessed.
I appreciate that.
And the fact is that position has been largely ignored, and they've gotten very, very fortunate. Teddy Bridgewater as like a real option for a month. No, thank you.
Yeah, and once again, you're not bringing Josh Dobbs to come in and be the guy. You just need him in a space.
Pastronaut.
There you go, the pastronaut, man. No, just like you need him for a space, you have him for a space. I don't mind that move at all.
Super chat from Dante 151, going back to the Trayvon Diggs conversation. Bray, would you put him at safety? Dante 151.
No, because I think a safety has either strong safety, he doesn't hit enough. He's not the guy that you're sending on blitzes. He's not the guy that's going to come up the line of scrimmage and meet guys in the hole, so you're not doing that. And at the free safety position, he has to command the defense. He has to command that secondary. He has to get guys in place. I don't trust Trayvon Diggs to be the guy to put people in place. So I wouldn't. I would have him as a slot, and I wouldn't even put him as a slot. I would put him as a third DB and put him on the outside. Realistically.
T-Twirt21, way to compliment John Kitna. # Iron Man.
Shout out to John. Man, I'm not going to lie. I used to look at the Detroit Lions when I played for the Browns. I was like, damn it, why couldn't I get drafted to the Lions? At least they're not winning. We're not winning. But at least they're throwing the hell out of the ball. I saw Kitna have almost 5,000. I said, yo, I'm on the wrong team.
I'm in the wrong shithole, man.
What the hell is going on? All right, let's do this. I'm going to ask you this, Jay. Do you want to break, get on track, or stay with the conversation? Because next conversation, preseason is coming up Thursday, the Lions' first game. Who needs to play in this game? Who are we expecting to see? Who do we want to see in the game? Chat, that's for you. The Lions' preseason games open up against the Bengals. The
Boogles.
This coming Thursday. Who do you expect to play? And what I mean by that, who the hell needs to play? Who do you need to see out there? Who needs these reps? Reps are key. Reps.
We want to know in the chat. Tell 100%. Us, please.
When we come back, we'll talk about that. But let's get a commercial break in from, I think that is me, it's Icon Auto Repair. Let's get this thing going on. If you have been in an accident and your vehicle needs repairs, guess what? Look no further than Icon Auto Repair and Collision. They will make sure that everything goes right for you. They have become something of a one-stop shop. You know why I mentioned that? That's because they offer free car loaners. They even offer to pay your deductible. The one-stop shop. You can come here and get everything taken care of. Don't trust this Icon, trust that Icon. Icon Auto Repair and Collision. We use them because we love them.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Experience summer in Detroit with pro soccer at Keyworth Stadium. Every Detroit City FC match brings a new reason to show up early and stay late. Tickets available now at deadcityfc.com.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Hey, guys, I know you've been thinking about a new home, upgrading your home, your first home, maybe refinancing your current home. Well, Chris and Chad and Christina, actually we had, I believe Chad and Christina join us on one of the shows a week or so ago. Awesome team over there. Get on the horn early with them. They're going to walk you through the whole process and get you in order so that you are in the best loan program possible, guys. There's a lot of things that you can do from now to close to get yourself maybe a 0% down payment program. Mentioning Woodward Sports, I know, will get you up to $500 off of your home appraisal. But get on the horn with them today and get that ball rolling with Supreme Lending.
And we are back. How's the chat doing? How you
They're
guys feel
funny
out
right
there?
now, man.
They're being funny right
They
now?
are. They want to see. You want to hear some of the names they want to see?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, first I see Broderick Martin.
Do they play for the? That's what I said.
You knew Broderick Martin was coming out.
100%. If you're gonna do Broderick Martin, you got to do you got to do Pascal.
That's right, Josh Pascal.
Josh Pascal has to come up.
Manu Mania says bogey time.
Okay.
Lion Lifer says white boy preseason. Tesla and Kennedy unleash the whites.
Shout out to Tom Kennedy, man, still holding on. Unleash the whites. All right, you're gonna end up like the Los Angeles Lakers. You better pipe down.
Xenox Sports wants to see the O-line minus Penei Sewell.
He's not lying about that. Like,
no, that's real.
That is absolutely real. Like, it's even if you start for this Detroit Lions team, I damn near want to see you every preseason game. Yeah. Let's just do this. Let's go around the room. Everybody takes two. Trust me. I got enough guys on this list where you won't say everybody. Anson, two guys. Who do you want to see? Why?
Sione Vaki, because my answer will not change to that question
okay,
until we actually
three. Then give me
see the damn guy. Three, huh? You hit me with that.
Well, because you said Sione Vaki.
Blake,
I know
it's got to be Blake.
Okay,
it's got to be Blake.
There we go.
I hung my hat on that one. You and I nailed the pick a month beforehand, and then doubled down the day of. So our money is now where our mouth is, and we need it to pay off. So Blake, you got to come through with a great outing. I'd like to say a certain nickel rookie, but I'm going to leave that for one of you guys because I know that you're out there. I'm going to say it for Dante 151. He says in the chat, and I'm going to echo it, we got robbed last year. Ahmed Hassanein, the Egyptian magician. Please, let's see that guy healthy and unleash, man. Bring the Pharaoh's fury.
As it relates to Blake Miller, I definitely want to see Blake Miller out there. I want to see what he can do. Some of the deficiencies that they talked about in drafting, his draft report starting to show up in camp, and that's the reason why he's in number 2 spot, not the number 1 spot. Leveraging, get blown by, and playing a little bit too high. That's what's showing up in camp. So that's what they're working on. Definitely want to see how that looks in game. And then Ahmed Hassanein, 1,000%. They were so high on this guy last year that they had no problem with saying, what? Who are we talking about? What was Big Zeke? I won't need Zeke. Get the hell out of here. We got Ahmed Hassanein. So I want to see what that looks like. He's healthy and has been wreaking a little bit of havoc. I want to see what it looks like in camp. Those are two good ones. B-Lad, come on, man. Give me two good ones. Give me the reasons.
I'm going to give you Keith Abney. Answer was right.
There he
I
is.
was going to be the first one to say it. I firmly believe his college tape was very good, and we stole him late in that draft. I do think he could actually be an impact in this defense, in this very shortened DB room we have. But I do feel like he would be a plus coming out of there. I mean, besides Blake Miller, give me someone on that D line, like an edge rusher, like Peyton Turner. I want to see how he's going to play. Dan Campbell talked about how big the DNs got, how much more size they got, how much different the room looks. Yeah. Show me something. Let me see Peyton Turner.
Yeah, 100% Peyton Turner is a guy. He talked about all that, the length, the size, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem.
I would go Blake, but you guys already touched Blake.
Oh, yeah. We got some more to go, though.
There's a lot more. I don't know how it's this hard for them. Like, there's going to be a lot of the fringe players that are playing this preseason. I'll go now. I'm gonna go Devin White. If they let that one's an obvious one. I feel like since he's been taking reps with the twos, he's definitely gonna be out there a little bit, getting acclimated to this defense. The other one that I have is 2nd round pick Derek Moore. I'm excited to see what he's got at the edge spot in the NFL. Obviously, I've seen him all the tape I need to see in college. I just am excited to see him against NFL level competition.
Yeah, as it relates to Devin White, it'd be interesting to see if they do play him game one. Just considering he signed last week at the end of the week, and then he signed last week. He come in preseason, so not necessarily sure if they will play him in the game, but if they do, want to see it. I feel like I saw it last year, but
I guess
it's just gonna be fun to watch him in a uniform.
I should have picked someone who's going to play this week. You're right. That is a great point, Braylon.
No, I didn't mean chop you down.
You go. Nah, you didn't chop me down. You go with your 2, and then I'll follow up because I got like 3 more in my head.
Here's 5 for you. We're gonna rock the roll.
All right.
How about you start with the position that just got hurt? What the hell does Michael Neese look like, and what does Seth McLaughlin look like? You lost your center in Cade Mays yesterday. I want to see what the center position looks like because one of these 2 guys is going to have to be the guy at least for the first 4 games of the season, at least for the first 3 games of the season. I want to see what that looks like, and I got to see these guys. And you're talking about Seth McLaughlin and what he was in 2024 in college. Well, now it's 2026 and he's in the NFL. I want to see him in an NFL uniform taking an NFL snap. So Seth McLaughlin as well as Michael Neese at that position. Also, offensive line, I want to see Frazier. Frazier was the individual that I thought was going to be in a battle with Christian Mahogany. I thought he was going to be in that situation. Now you look at a spot where he could be a left guard. He could be a center. He could be backing up on the right guard side. I want to see what Frazier looks like in camp. And then they keep talking about this guy like he's the savior of the class of 2024 draft. What does Ennis Rakestraw look like and play like?
One.
This is the game.
I like that
it's
one.
Finally here. You talking about somebody that's excited to play? That'd be Ennis Rakestraw. I can only imagine the thoughts going through his head and how he wants to play out there. Not necessarily getting the best of compliments out of Dan Campbell, who's saying he's very inconsistent thus far. Give me Ennis Rakestraw. Let me see where Ennis Rakestraw. Let me see what some of those offensive line backups look like. And I'll throw another one in there for you. Let me see what Chuck Clark looks like. Because they've talked about him in Pittsburgh and him and having the experience. And he's going to play a pivotal role with those 2 safeties out. I want to see what those 4 or 5 guys look like on Thursday. Because I guarantee you this, all 5 of them will play.
Yeah, I'm looking through the list here. There's Wanham. There's some other guys.
He probably won't play game 1, but that is somebody I'm definitely dying to see play in this preseason because they make it seem like there's something they know about him that we don't.
Yeah, Michael Wary, Abney, Saylor, Miller, Moore, Hassanein.
Tesla.
Lion Leifert.
Yeah, you won't see Tesla.
Anson, I'm not his biggest fan, but
you don't think Tesla's going to play?
What about Dortch?
Not game 1.
That's fair.
Tesla's not playing game 1. Like, Tesla's a part of a 3-headed monster, and they believe him. Everything that you heard on him has been good. I wouldn't play him game 1.
I'd play him.
What
about Dortch?
They're going to play
Dortch and him should be your starters.
Yep.
I'm sorry. As much as you use Tesla, as much as you paid for him, he hasn't got enough reps.
Yeah, I agree.
I want him out there 100%.
I'm excited to see Josh Dobbs out there. I can't lie. You know, Josh, I know he might not play very long because he's still getting acclimated to the system, but they did say he probably was going to play, considering they didn't want to have Luke Altmaier play the entire game.
Yeah.
Saw Luke Altmaier in here as well.
Hear me out on the Tesla situation. I'll just phrase it to you this way. All right, I never use this. You know I don't. So when I say it, it's real. As a former football player, all right, at the wide receiver position, doesn't matter, just as a football player, do you want to see Isaac Tesla in game 1 go against 3s and 4s when the competition level won't be the same? You're going against 3s, you're going against 4s. It's not necessarily going to be what you see when September happens, and you're not going against your core, and you're not going with your quarterback, and you're not going with your guys. Isaac Tesla is number 3, and he's going to be a number 2 in certain situations. I would rather see him game 2 with Goff, with Saint, with the offensive line, which I guess at this point is interchangeable anyway, and go against 1s or 2s starting in NFL. Like him going against the 3s and 4s for the Bengals, no thank you.
And that's fair, but the Bengals are playing their starters on offense and on defense to start this first preseason game. So
their starters are kind of like backups, but yeah. That was a joke.
I know
Ohio
it is, but it's still. I still think that giving Tesla for like 1's reps, like literally being the number 1 receiver on the field, commanding targets, like he hasn't at any clip in his entire career
with the backup quarterback.
Yep, I think it would be helpful to him.
Okay,
just getting the routes down, especially in a new system.
Yes.
Like he's never run routes as complicated as Petzing's routes. And there's a lot of reasons why I think Tesla should be playing in the preseason.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair enough. I'll push back a little bit.
There you go.
I'll push back a little bit.
Well said.
KJ Obi-Wan, Anson, would you like to see Jelani Tavai get some reps in the preseason?
Jesus Christ.
Shout out, baby.
All right, well, next commercial.
Shout out Obi-Wan.
It blew with the Lions of eye on there. I was trying to see what else was going on here.
I got to say this one. I don't know. It just came
something
to me as it was happening, but Lion Lifer, Anson Wells, I'm not his biggest fan, but Ahmed the Pharaoh's Fury Hassanin is tough as AF.
Ahmed the Fury.
Pharaoh's Fury.
Pharaoh's Fury, excuse me. Oh, okay. So I see what you did there. Now you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got the Pharaoh Fury. All right. So are we
got a whole.
Are we building our Egyptian culture out a little bit?
Superhero squad from Egypt. I love it.
Long story short, I'm glad the Lions are playing their guys in the preseason this year. Now, we know a lot of them won't play in game 1, but game 2, you got to play these guys. You got to get into a bit of a rhythm. You've seen it over the last 5 years. It just has not been crisp, if you will, the first 3 games of the season for the Detroit Lions. And last year was no different.
Even crazier clown, Braylon is way more humble than Sean and Neil because they don't give an inch. And you did just back off of that one.
I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? But you guys bring a lot of element to the show.
Your shorts are longer, too.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate that. Because I saw that live, though. Like, I saw those shorts live. Like, they look like they were like, you see my sleeve with my shirt?
Neil taking straight shorts. Neil taking straight.
No. Don't do that because I'm actually probably going to be doing a game with him this coming fall football season.
Well, it'll be cold. He won't have to wear shorts.
It'll still be hot outside. It's the Eastern. I don't know who Eastern's playing, but I'm doing some color.
Is it Eastern versus?
You can't say that yet. It's not public info yet. You can't tell them that.
Oh,
maybe not. All right, this is real.
Allegedly.
All
right, act like you guys didn't hear anything. We'll take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, how about we switch gears a little bit? I feel like we've hit the line.
Different kind of pigskin?
100% pigskin, and still in the same state, but maybe 40 minutes.
They like that other team in the state, don't they?
They do. They absolutely do. All right.
Not the green one.
Tell me a little bit, Justin, if you will, about Mad Packs.
Let me tell you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs has a great line of pre-rolls. They have the high-low and the boom shakalaka 1.3 and 1.5 respectively. And now it is time for you to get ready for their new product this summer, the boom shakalaka 200 milligram hash rosin gummies and the high-low 200 milligram live resin gummies as well. Are their Mad Packs brand new extracts, so make sure they're the perfect addition to your summer plans. So tap in with them at madpacks.com. Mad flavors, mad high, Mad Packs, baby.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that. Don't just survive. Thrive.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Art and Jake's A&J. Check this out. We will actually be at Art and Jake's in Clarkson for the Detroit Lions preseason opener against the Cincinnati Bungles that Justin talked about. So come on out, join us. A lot of guys will be there. A lot of people, a lot of women too, from Woodward Sports, because we don't discriminate over here, baby boy. But the food is good. The vibes are right. 80 TVs, wall-to-wall action. The action is going to be there because you guys aren't the only one that want to see the Detroit Lions get the season off and rolling. 22 beers on tap as well. Come on out, have a great time. But they're not just in Clarkson. It's all around. Check them out at ANJ.com. And The team at the State's Title Agency, they can make sure that things are simple and convenient as it relates to the refinancing or buying a home process. The B-side and his team over there, they do an amazing job. 20-plus years of experience. You talk about 20 years of experience, and you talk about with the B-side, his family name and what it means in this industry, you are working with a powerhouse. They have late-night closings, weekend closings. They just do it all. They make the process simple and convenient. So for all your title needs, call Mr. Deeds. And we are back.
Great tagline.
It is. It's fun to say, too.
Yeah.
Like a lot of taglines, you know what I'm saying, sometimes I won't say them because I forget or I just do the reading different ways. That tagline always tends to remind right at the end. I'm like, hey, say it. Don't forget it.
And it just fits him, man. He's a well put together businessman and owner. Honestly, it's a great title company, man.
It is a great title company, man, and that's why we have partnered with them. And we're back. Chat, appreciate you guys for rocking and rolling with us today. It has been a fun Tuesday. It has been action-packed. Now we'll switch the gears a little bit and talk about a team in Ann Arbor, University of Michigan.
Who?
University of Michigan Wolverines, where I was at yesterday. And I told you, when you watch, when you see, I saw them on the field. I saw the amazing blue helmets. I got excited. I got to thinking about why I went to Michigan. And then I saw this interview that I did last week at the Kyle Whittingham outing. Here we go.
To a degree, it was your birthright, but take us back to that moment that you decided you were going to be a Michigan Wolverine.
For me, obviously, like you mentioned Stan Edwards played at Michigan. Shout out to my pops. So I always grew up in the lore, wanted to be a Michigan. But that 97 season is when I, for my 14-year-old self, was able to dial in what it meant to go to Michigan. I went to a lot of the games, and I saw everybody hated Michigan. And I was like, yo, check. I like that they hate you. And if everybody hates on you, that says something. But then I loved how the players worked together, where it was Dhani and Ian, how they led their defense. With Marcus Ray, obviously we know number 2 was the greatest player in Michigan history for me, Charles Woodson. But going to that Michigan State game and being in that atmosphere in East Lansing and seeing that catch that he made on that sideline and to see the crowd get dead silent and then follow the season from that point and then get to the Ohio State game where all the marbles are on the line like it often is when you play against that school in Columbus, and to see how Michigan rose to the occasion, and obviously Charles Woodson with the punt return, pick 6, like it was, or interception, excuse me. That is the season, that is the moment where I knew Michigan was for me. However I had to get there, thank you, Lord. I appreciate you for making it happen. But that season, you're just following greatness.
That's cool. I don't know if I've heard you talk about how that season was the one that inspired you. That's pretty cool.
It was that season. And then they capped it off with the Rose Bowl win. And
of course.
The coaches, and once again, you get back to the hating side of it. The coaches hating us in the coaching poll. Like that right there in itself is like, you know what? I want my back to be against the wall. And I want to do it in Ann Arbor. Definitely wanted my back to be against the wall, and I felt like it was that. Man, you talk about that 1997 season, every single game came down to the wire, whether it was Purdue, whether it was Iowa, whether it was Michigan State, whether it was Ohio State. Like every game was a game where somebody had to show up and somebody had to fill. And the reason why they were able to do that, I remember watching them in practice, in training camp. I remember watching the intensity. I remember watching Coach Carr break it down. I remember him not letting things go. I remember them fighting like Chuck Clark and Isaac Tesla. I remember the conversations between player to player and the aggression that they show. So I was super excited when that season played out like it did, because I saw that in training camp. And that's that love that I saw yesterday when I went out there and saw the helmets, Anson. I saw the team practicing. I saw Kyle Whittingham. Kyle Whittingham actually had something to say for the 3rd, 4th, or 5th time about Ohio State. Jay, throw that in there real quick.
Yeah, Kyle, you commented a little bit on Ohio State and the rivalry in Chicago, and some of those comments took on a life of their own afterwards.
We have a better chance to win if I hated them. I don't understand. Whatever gives us the best chance to win, I'm all for. Want to beat them worse than anybody, around, and so I don't know how that got to be such a hot topic. Anyway, I cut you off. What was your question?
No problem. Historically, there have been periods dedicated to beating Ohio State. I was wondering if you believe, if you had something like that for the Holy War, if you still believe in that sort of thing.
Sure. Yeah. There's periods where in practice segments or things in the weight room that that's talked about. We've got the countdown clocks. I mean, I'm not trying to downplay that at all. It's a huge game, gigantic, and it's something that we all have in the back of our mind 24/7. And so I don't know, I probably should have worded it differently, But that game is of the utmost importance.
Was that surprising to you, how the reaction from?
No, people, it's not surprising, I guess I set myself up for it in a lot of ways, but just don't confuse that with the desire, a lack of desire to win the game. I mean, we obviously understand that is the game, so air quotes, I hate air quotes. So.
Come up here and blast Coach Whittingham because I think he is a good man. And I think he is the guy that's in charge of making his team stable, making his institution stable again. I think a lot of his players love him already. They like him. They rock with him. They appreciate where they are now versus last year. I love that. With that said, when is the coach that starts at the University of Michigan going to realize that the Ohio State-Michigan game, regardless of NIL, regardless of transfer portal, regardless of this new space, regardless of it's going to be 24 teams next year or the 2 years after that, when is he going to realize what this game means?
I don't know.
When is he going to realize what this game means? This is not the average game. Yes, you have to hate Ohio State. It just is what it is. If you don't hate Ohio State, you will get your ass cracked. Because last time I checked, Brady Hoke came in and said, hey, we're not going to approach it any differently. He never beat Ohio State. Well, excuse me, he beat him once. And he got rolled the other years. Then Jim Harbaugh, who went to Michigan, who finished runner-up in the Heisman or third. I think it was second or third. Regardless, had an amazing career at Michigan. First-round quarterback drafted out of Michigan. His dad coached at Michigan. Understood what the rivalry was. Understood what that rivalry is. Talking about that 20-mile war or 40-mile war, whatever it's called. He understood it. They asked him at Media Day in 2016. He said, no, we approach it like every other game. Proceeded to lose in 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Would have lost in 20, 21. 21 they finally won. 21 because he changed his mindset. When is the coach going to understand it's just a different rivalry? I don't care about what the landscape is now. College landscape is very different than it was, and it'll never go back. This thing is still the same. Every time Ohio State, they hire a new coach, the first thing he says, whether it was – who did I go against? Was it Jim Tressel, who when he did his press conference in January of 2001, first thing he said at the end of that press conference was, and don't worry, we'll take care of that team up north. This was at the press conference. Urban Meyer said the same thing, proceeded to do the same thing. Ryan Day did the same thing for a little bit, and then he didn't, and then he did. You got to understand that there is hate. It was true. Like Blackbeard, he did his thing, then he didn't, and then he did. So realistically, you have to hate what that team is. The reason why is because they do. If you don't match it, it feels different. And when Michigan doesn't match it, you can see it. How many times have we watched over the last 25 years, not Michigan's wins, when you're looking at one team understands the rivalry, one team doesn't? Just my thoughts.
No, you're right. And the problem is that Michigan, the whole air of superiority, the whole big brother complex, doesn't allow them to fully address the challenge in Ohio as being a true challenge. In Michigan's mindset, there is no rivalry anywhere. They are the leaders in best. And so when you have a team, a redheaded stepchild state like Ohio is, that's all that they have. With Michigan, you're considering yourselves, okay, everybody's chasing us. Since the 1850s, their mindset is they are the best in the Midwest, period, without exception. And so these coaches keep coming in here and they make it, well, it's bigger than that. It's about the Big Ten, and it's about a national championship, and it's about, carrying on our lore and being the leaders in best. And meanwhile, these guys down south are just fixated and frothing at the mouth to kick your ass. And that's the way it was when I grew up. That's what I grew up watching Michigan. Yeah. Now we're talking about 97. Listen, 97, I was a Michigan fan. I got to sit first row for that game. The immaculate interception when my man jumped off a table. Because he's that much higher above everyone else.
Somebody clipped that, by the way. He said he was cheering for Michigan 97. All right, go ahead.
No, that's true. It was the worst. I was in Russia when all this happened, man. He wins a defensive Heisman. Yeah. Barry hits 2,000, and the Pistons trade for Stackhouse. I'm in Russia for all this. But no, seriously, you look at
it's
what
a great timeline, actually.
When I went back to that, man.
Maybe you should go back to Russia so the Lions can win a Super Bowl.
They didn't win shit that year, bro.
I know, but that was a lot of good things that happened. Maybe we'd actually have a chance.
Yeah, well, 97 was a good for a team that I don't care for, buddy, and you still got your chips since then. But, no, you look at what this team used to embrace in that rivalry, whether it was Schembecker or all those years, man, this was it. And at the end of it, when you whoop their ass, guess what you get? You get the Big Ten belt. Yeah. And so the fact that that they've been taking this team lightly for so damn long, well, your Big Ten championships mirror that because you don't have as many as you should, because ultimately this team kicks your ass at the end of every single year. And there's a bunch of people in the chat here right now.
Except them 4 years in a row we won, though.
Does he always talk like this, or is it the audio? No, I get you. Okay, but you guys also had their playbook, and for 20 years they kicked your ass.
Okay.
And the fact is nobody out there in Ann Arbor is really saying the things that you, as the best wide receiver in the history of the school, want to hear, and that is they're poison. We're going to go drown them out and smash them and drown them. We're never going to want to see them win another game ever again. Fuck Ohio. And I haven't heard that from you guys for 30 years.
In the words of Dan Campbell, drag them to the deep end.
That's right.
And drown them. Look, Justin, I'll bring it to you. And maybe behind the scenes, and this is why I said I'm not mad at Coach Whittingham at all. This had nothing to do with Whittingham, more to do with the mindset of the new head coaches. Everybody has been like that, including Harbaugh. So not necessarily a knock on Whittingham. It's just maybe there's something going on behind the scenes. Maybe he and his players have a different, like you said, he talked about the desire. Maybe behind the scenes they're getting riled up and they're doing the things and they got some Michigan stuff, some Ohio State posted and they're getting ready and they're locked and loaded. But the mentality of that rivalry has changed. If you don't believe me, Aiden Hutchinson was asked in November of 2021 as a rookie with the Detroit Lions who was going to win the Ohio State-Michigan game, and do you know what his answer was? His answer was, I don't know, guys, man. I just want to see a good game. I just want,
participation trophy era, Bray.
I just want to see a good game. Hope everybody's good. Aiden, you're one of the greatest. You're one of the best players in Michigan history. You have the sack record in Michigan history. The mindset has shifted, and that's what I'm saying. It's just different. Maybe I'm asking for something that can no longer exist. Because maybe even in those 4 years when Michigan was winning, maybe they didn't hate Ohio State. They were just better than Ohio State, and maybe they also had an advantage. Somebody yielded over there, although they know ours, we know theirs. It is what it is. Justin?
Yeah, I personally, I hated that. The whispering. I don't like the fact that he doesn't have a presence. When Dan Campbell's up there, we all rave about him. He's up there, he's like, yeah, J-Mo's going to have a big year. I'm feeling confident, And then Whittingham's up there. Well, I'm very confident that we'll be as prepared as we need to be prepared for the Ohio State game. It's a very important game. No.
Utah tough.
Seriously, that was I can't say that.
You're Broncos. Say it.
No, I can't say that. But
say it.
No.
Say it.
No. I'm not taking personal
shots. Say it with your chest, Justin.
There's no you need to be matching the intensity of what's going down there in Ohio State. They're priming up for another national championship run. They're priming up to kick your ass. They have the clock set for the Michigan game. It's different down there. And if Ryan Day was asked about the team up north, I guarantee you he's not saying, oh, well, I just hope they have a good season so that we have a very good game set up for the last week of the season. No, I hope they go 0-12. Fuck them. That's what I want to hear.
Amen.
Oh, yeah, we got to get that F jar. We got to get the F-bomb jar out here, man.
I don't participate.
He doesn't. You guys are getting active today. No, realistically, you don't have to be rah-rah. It doesn't have to be rah-rah. I mean, obviously, he was super chill. He had just, hit Loom or Mad Pack. But he was super chill, and which is his vibe, which is what he's bringing to the table. But in asking me that question, if I'm the head coach, I'm saying, hey, look, you know what? Ohio State kicked our ass last year. you are still the head coach for what happened last year. Like, you're not getting blamed for last year, but the results are still the results in the rivalry, which you now are the head coach in. So, hey, look, you know what? Last year, they had our number, but it's going to be different this year. Like, we're bringing different heat. We understand who they are. We're going to put our focus on them. As much as we can, we will put our focus on that team down south because we understand that us and them, it's a date at the end of every year, and it's one that everybody's waiting for, and no one's more looking forward to it this year than me, the new head coach at the University of Michigan. Like, something along those lines.
That's the right answer. Is this maybe Ann Arbor's PR department? Because this has been going on for a while, and you'd imagine that at some point there'd be a personality that would come in. Yeah, they do. And there would be a personality that would come in and just be like, F Ohio State, oh, I hate them, we're going to crush them.
Oh, yeah, they did have that. They just fired him.
Sharon?
I was messing with you.
Did he say that?
Oh, Sharon was, Sharon beat Ohio State, so he had a little different. Okay. Well, in air quotes, but.
Yeah, it seems like something might be a little planned out of there.
No, I take that back. He beat him twice.
But I never really heard him gung-ho about anti-OSU.
Because 24 was him.
Yeah,
23 was like, all right, we know Harbaugh's at the hotel, in Columbus, like calling plays. But 24 was him.
What better way to separate yourself from the people in Ohio than to not acknowledge publicly the rivalry? To just demean them and put them in with State and IU and Purdue and anybody else that you don't even put, and it's a psyop, because now people are like, well, Ohio State doesn't matter. Literally, Ohio State owns this century, but doesn't really matter.
This is my last thing as it relates to that.
But it doesn't really matter, I think, because the PR company in Ann Arbor made people not care about it.
Very true. What I will say is this, though, we understand why he has that kind of hesitation as it relates to Ohio State, because he has a relationship with Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer and he are good friends. Obviously, they both coached at Utah. I actually played against Urban Meyer my sophomore year. But anyway, they have that friendship. It's cool to have friendship. I have friends that went to Ohio State. I get all that. Urban Meyer doesn't coach at Ohio State right now. He's not the Ohio State coach. He has not been for a while. It is okay to have that moxie about yourself, but I digress. Another topic, as we talked about University of Michigan.
Real quick, Freddie Felt, $2. Ohio is the armpit of America. F the Suckeyes. That's an alum, man.
Yeah.
But is that you?
Did he even play receiver?
Weird.
Nah.
Did they have the visors like that back in the day when you? They had leather helmets when you were playing?
First and foremost, pipe down over the Anson. No, they had the visors. I didn't wear them in college because, you had to either be Charles Woodson or you had to have legit eyes messed up. Your eyes had to be messed up or you had to be Charles Woodson. 100%. And I was not Charles, and my eyes actually were pretty good, 20/30 vision. But this is a question everybody always asks me now. Is there a question behind this, Justin?
Yes, I will lob you the question, Braylon. I will be the sacrificial lamb. Braylon Edwards as the wearer of the number one.
Yeah.
Usually known for the best receiver at Michigan, or generational receiver, essentially the 88.
The best ever.
Yeah. Well, the number one is supposed to signify, in my opinion, as who I've seen the great receivers who've worn the number one, it to me is like the 88 for the Dallas Cowboys, but not to the regard that is. Is that fair to say, Braylon?
Yeah.
And the question is, how do you feel about a safety wearing it?
So I no longer have any type of gripe or old school mentality as it relates to number one. That era is gone. Unfortunately, they have hear me out. Unfortunately, they have taken it out of me. And hear me out when I say this. The number one has been passed to so many individuals that have done nothing with it. I remember the very first time, what's his name? This is when it started. Rich Rodriguez, was about to give an incoming DB number one. And it was a huge buzz. Around it. He was giving up the number. He was using it as recruit bait, and they were about to sign this guy, bring him in. Everybody told him, "Hey, Braylon's got a scholarship. He's got a whole thing." Which my scholarship had nothing to do with who could wear one. It was just called the number one scholarship endowment, which still exists. But I had to talk to him, and then he was like, "Well, let me know about this number one jersey. What is it?" Okay, that's red flag number one. And I told him what it was. He ended up not giving it out. Fast forward, Brady Hoke gave it to Funches after Funches' third year, which is what it is. I have no problem with that. I mean, this is what you want to do. You look at the numbers, they don't match the number one. Insert Jim Harbaugh, 2015. He calls me up. Hey, Braylon, let me know about the one situation. I say, hey, man, look, if you think somebody's deserving, wear it, give it to him. He said, yeah, I got 2 guys fighting for it in camp right now. Whoa, what do you mean 2 guys are fighting for it? I said, if you believe somebody deserves it, give it to that person. 2 guys are fighting for number one, and he ended up giving it to Kakoa Crawford. Kakoa Crawford that following year, deuces.
I was going to say, who's that?
Then they gave Kakoa Crawford. Well, you hear the name, you know he's like Hawaiian. I think he was from, I can't remember exactly, but he was Hawaiian. Kakoa Crawford, 1 year number one. Next year he was gone. Andrew Anthony, he was the next guy.
Who?
His name, actually, let me skip back. Ambry Thomas,
who
was a defensive back and a kick returner. He wore number one. Fast forward, Andrew Anthony. Here's the next number one.
You should know him. He scored a couple touchdowns against you
Went
guys.
off and had 179 yards and 2 touchdowns against Michigan State.
Yep.
The game they ended up losing to K9. It was a K9 game. And then after that, what did he do? Nothing, and eventually jumped in the transfer portal, went to Oklahoma, transferred out of Oklahoma, went to Duke.
Yep.
Shout out. He's a great kid, and I love his family as well. Did nothing with the number one jersey. The list goes on. Last year, they went and got a guy. This guy,
last year was ridiculous.
Young player, brought him in from Indiana. He had to leave Indiana because they weren't going to play him. He was like the 5th receiver at Indiana. He comes here, doesn't have necessarily a great year, and guess what? He's no longer on the roster. The legitimately best wearer of number one since me has been a defensive player, and it was Barnhill last year.
So was the number one he wore last year actually a butter knife?
It wasn't Genzu.
No, and Bray, like we talked about this last.
This is why I don't care about it anymore, because no one cares about it anymore. So the fact that we're so much removed from what Michigan used to be, I can't get mad at Kyle Whittingham for giving the jersey to a DB when last year a defensive end wore it, who probably wore it the best, if I'm being honest, since me.
I just want to point something out, though. I mean, the way he talks in this press conference, he doesn't understand the Ohio State rivalry.
Doesn't care. It sounds like Rich Rod.
He gives the number one to Rod Moore, who's a DB, who like doesn't know the history of it. Like last year, giving it to McCulley was absurd. A quarterback turned receiver, like that's not the pedigree of one. He was a 5th-year senior too. Like that's just ridiculous. Like I like talked about this with you. Last September, Bray, when I was filling in on your show and we were just getting kicked off with, the other guy, and I literally told you, I was like, there is one. There's this guy they're gonna give one to, and he's not good. And I told you that preseason, and then he showed up.
Is this guy good?
There's like 2 players I would give a number one to.
Obviously, Braylon's good.
And
Braylon deserves
no,
to be in the
I'm
College
pointing
Football Hall of
behind
Fame.
that.
Oh yeah, he's arguably the best player in the defense.
He can play. He can play, and that's why where we are now, I don't mind it. Like I said, it was Barnhill.
I'd rather him have it than McCulley or any of those receivers you named. Like he's actually a dude.
Oh, what's his name? We skipped one. What's his name? What's his name? Roman Ward. Roman Ward.
Did he wear it?
In and what's his name?
I don't know. For some reason, I thought he wore number 4.
He's 14, and then he switched.
Yeah, that's right.
He was 14 and switched to 1, and then he went up. He was balling that first.
Yeah,
he was so good that year.
He had like 10 touchdowns in like the first 7 games. I was like, oh,
Jeremy Gallen never wore 1.
Jeremy Gallen wore 21.
I'm surprised.
Oh, that's so right.
He wore the same thing.
And 10. He wore 10 for a little bit, too.
Yeah, 21 and 10.
I'm surprised Bryce Underwear never asked for the number one, like when they first got him from LSU.
I thought he was
like that would have been. I figured part of like the whole like get me to Ann Arbor package. Freddie Felt with $2 in the super chat. Retire number one for the GOAT, which leads me to my question: has there been a season where nobody gets the one?
Yeah, Brady Hoke had a couple seasons where nobody.
And that should be how it is, no?
Yeah. At 100%. Certain schools are like that. Oklahoma is 69. USC is 55. Like, is the number?
Bro, it's
like
what?
What y'all over talking about?
No. You said it. Their number is 69. So was it just for like mauling offensive linemen?
Yeah, no. 69 is for their linebackers from back in the day, and then 55 was like Willie McGinnis. It was Matter of fact, Chris Claiborne. I think the Lions drafted
Parsons
back
in the
day.
Penn State 11.
There you go. Penn State's 11. That's a really good one.
Ooh, I like that.
Dang, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did know of that one.
All their linebackers.
Yeah, but
Arrington.
the last 2 years or 3 years since Parsons, they have not been good.
So it's
But
like
they got what's the
LSU
name
with the
from
7.
the guy that got drafted by the Giants last year.
Other than Carter.
There you go. Abdul
LSU
Carter.
with the number 7 as well.
LSU with number 7 as it relates to their safeties. Patrick Peterson, Tyrann Mathieu.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Honey Badger.
you can – last thing I'll say about this is you can evolve with the wave of the future. Things change, and that's fine. You can keep certain things the same and still keep a level of that tradition. Like LSU, they have that tradition. You know that tradition, and you see that tradition. The reason why I point that out, and I'm glad you did, everybody that has worn 3 at LSU or 7 at LSU, usually when they get in the league, they nice.
Yeah.
They like that.
I think they had. I wonder if Greedy Williams ever wore 7. I'm trying to think of all the 7s. I think he might have.
That'd be fun.
Leonard Fournette wore 7.
Yes, he did.
He did. Like and guess what? First round was
He
like
was a
that.
dog.
It's almost won the Heisman if he doesn't get hurt.
And like that's the thing. If you're gonna switch the position on the number, but it still has the
It's
legacy
him.
of
It
the
still
fact
has,
that
like, he's
he's
the best
him.
player.
Like Leonard
Yeah.
Fournette in college was the best running back in the country. Probably top 3 because he didn't win the Heisman.
Yeah, that's when he had Melvin.
It was Derrick Henry.
So
Yeah, Derrick Henry.
Derrick ended up beating him out.
Yeah,
I was
thinking
whoever
Melvin
whoever balled out that game was gonna win the Heisman between those two, and I think Derrick Henry had like 280.
And the SEC was unreal.
And
back
then
in
ended up
the
going
day.
2000. But yeah,
Back when they were paying players.
So teach
CBS.
And then we caught up.
now because we got real money. They had cheap money.
Yeah, facts.
Teach word in the
We got
super,
that tech money.
in the chat here.
They
As
got
a-
them chicken finger money.
Shout out Google.
He says as a DB you should want to wear the Woodson number,
All
which
right.
is 2. And now, did Rod wear that last year?
No, he wore 6, 8.
How often do
0?
Wolverines get to wear
It was a single.
the Woodson number?
I think, and Will did right by it. So now it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Like Will Johnson did right by it.
I'm surprised they didn't retire that number.
The only
1 and 2,
only numbers
1
that
and
were
2
retired.
should be
9.
quasi-retired. Like,
Facts.
it
All right.
takes
Or 9.
a lot to
Facts.
get into that.
I knew
jersey.
okay 8 or 9. Yeah, what's the name? That's right, because Derek Moore wore 8. Duh. But yeah, the only numbers that were retired for University of Michigan was 11. That's because the Wistert brothers, 3 guys, all were All-Americans back in like the 30s and 40s, and then one went to the war and came back and made All-American after going to the war. That's retired. Gerald Ford's 48 is retired, and then Tom Harmon's 98, the first Heisman Trophy winner, his was retired. And then Desmond's Desmond's like retired / not retired.
Nobody wears the 21.
And then
right?
Woodson's is just fair game.
What was the last 21?
Shoot, now you put me on the spot. I don't
Jeremy
know.
Gallen.
Jeremy Gallen, yeah.
Last 98 was Devin Gardner.
There you go.
Dante151 with a $10 super chat just comes in. Bray, have you checked up on your buddy Ryan Armani? Because his boy, number
Jake, I
9,
knew that was coming.
is no longer the starter of the Vikings because it's Kyler. Are you bigger than a 5th grader Murray, who is their starting QB?
We are going to take a quick commercial break after I answer that question.
Unload when we come back.
Remember where we were at when Ryan would sit in that chair and he told me that Bray,
No, please do.
JJ McCarthy, he's gonna be him. Come on, Bray. I was like, look, Ryan, I like JJ too. He's an amazing kid, but there are a lot of factors at play when it comes to his potential success in the NFL. Lions, baby. Anyway, love Ryan Armani. He's doing his thing. He's actually at camp today. I saw him. They were doing some camp work out there. Him and his girl, Tina Santorini, whatever her name is. Anyway, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll get back and talk about your Detroit Tigers. Is there something to talk about there? They got a nice stretch of games that can affect what happens to them as it relates to, dare I say,
playoffs.
All right, Marty. Or Jim Moore, as we tell me a little bit about Thrive, if you will.
Yes, sir, will do. It's time to upgrade your game with Thrive Energy Pouches, but this isn't your daddy's dip sweet potato can. This is tobacco-free, nicotine-free mental powerhouse, packing 300 milligrams of clean, smart caffeine, no jitters, no sugar crash, and zero bloating. Thrive can be found online at dipstop.com. Remember to use promo code WSN for 15% off your entire order. Exclusively at all Market Fresh Market Square locations. Thrive, clean energy, zero distractions. They just flip and work, y'all.
And let me tell you a little bit about our friends at Loom, because we want to be your plug here at Woodward Sports. You can scan that QR code. It's going to take you right to their website, loom.com. and you're going to get that 30% off. Or if you go straight to their website, type in WSN30 when you're checking out, or say it in person at one of their 40 locations, and that's going to get you that 30% off. But they got free gifts for your first 3 visits, so check them out. They are Loom, and you can find them at loom.com.
Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Well, Amnesia is promoting a new product, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't stop buying their Switch product, because let me tell you, it's the premier pen on the market. 3 ways to enjoy it, but their new product that they're using is Amnesia is bringing a whole new meaning to smooth finish. And I can guarantee you this, because these are my favorite pre-rolls on the market. Say hello to the new 1.5 gram bubble hash glass tip infused pre-roll, combining premium bubble hash with a sleek glass tip for a new way to enjoy the classic. It's the latest addition to their rapidly growing Amnesia lineup, and it is available now at your local dispensary. A smoother way to stand out with Amnesia. And let me tell you about Gold Crown Royal Jesters. 1.5 grams, coated in keef, live resin infused. These things hit you like royalty. Tap in with them at goldcrownextracts.com. They're the OGs in the game. They've been around for longer than I've been smoking weed, so make sure you tap in with them at Gold Crown and at any local dispensary near you. They are literally everywhere. And last but not least, let me tell you about Massage Chair House. That's right, the Massage Chair House. Scan the QR code above my head and scan it to go to check out Dr. Eric Duncan's the Wellness Docs Massage Chair YouTube channel. He owns the largest massage chair showroom in the great state of Michigan. So make sure you tap in with him today at the Massage Chair House with premium models such as the Infinity and the Osaki. So tap in today with Massage Chair House.
Hope everybody in chat is doing good, man. Hope you guys know that I did miss you yesterday, and I'm having a ball with you, man. Guys like Freddie Felt, you know, our people is like, huh? What are you about to say?
I'm just saying it's a fun one today. I'm having a lot of fun today.
Raw Biz.
Oh, you met some of them?
No. Just throwing names out there.
Yeah,
she loves me only on payday.
Well, you know what? If we're throwing out some of the regulars, J-Rod Sayers, you know, a guy that won something will be coming into the office soon to get it.
Rando.
They played their softball game on Friday,
shoot.
and we got a little update here.
Did we win?
Well, you didn't.
First of all, I'm a sub.
Okay.
I get a part of the trophy.
Okay, well,
I just
up there.
I just don't get it.
There's the champs, Bray. They won it.
Now, where's J-Rod?
All right, great question.
Now, here, which one is J-Rod? I love putting the face with the name.
I'm the guy in the back row, far left.
So this is J-Rod Sayers.
J-Rod, there he is.
Okay, big J-Rod. I like the sock game.
I appreciate pulled up socks with shorts too, bro.
He's got the
I just pulled those up. I just pulled them up.
He's got the Pete. What's his name? He's my coach.
Shout out to J-Rod. Shout out to the Bears as well.
Coach.
Kobe Bryant out 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
They are the 2026 BCL champs, and it says 13-11, I believe that's the final score. I don't think that's the
I can't lie. It looks like they had a couple ringers. All right. I don't know if those kids on the right should be playing softball. Like, I don't know what we're seeing here, fellas, but like
my man's dirty over here on the right too, dude. He's making plays.
All 3 of those guys are dirty.
Yeah, for sure. The ringers over here, they all know each other. These guys are kind of pushed off to the edge. That's where you'd be standing behind them, Bray.
How do you get like one knee dirty? It's like
catcher. Catcher. He's built like a catcher too.
Okay.
All right,
he catch a real bro. There's nothing wrong with that.
So don't hold on. Slide out. Side note, don't just gloss past that. Who's out? Are you talking about defensive tackle for the Rams?
No, Cody Bryant, the
Cody
safety,
Bryant. Okay,
starting
gotcha.
safety for the Bears, out 4 to 6 months.
I gotta say, Kobe Bryant been out for a long time.
Injuries are happening to everybody. One of the things that made the Bears so good last year is their ability to take the ball away.
Kobe Bryant's a guy that I wanted out of college who went way below his draft stock and panned out. So another Justin hit on the draft. That's too deep of a poll for even NFL GMs.
Well, you said her name, so she super chatted.
There we go.
Sneaker chick, $10.
Hey.
I worked Lions training camp again today, and I talked to Ryan and Dina.
Dina Centofanti, there we go.
I was gonna say Dina Centofanti. That's not his wife, is it?
No.
Power couple would have.
No.
Would have been a serious power couple.
No.
I told him y'all are unhinged now. Love y'all, Lions, baby. Let's go.
Unhinged. We were really unhinged with Ryan. Brian's just sneaky unhinged.
Yes, you get him in the right day.
Exactly. He's sneaky unhinged.
I never
especially when he's talking about Michigan versus anybody.
Michigan,
He
yes.
said some things, man.
What?
Can we get a Ryan Armani impression? Another one. Come on.
Yeah, please. Lions, baby.
We'll get one before the show.
Okay.
We got 6 minutes. Let's go. What is it we want to talk about? The Detroit Tigers. You were supposed to go to the game tomorrow. You got tickets for tonight.
No, I was always going tomorrow, but I also got tickets for today because I'm a dumbass, okay?
That's because you believe in these Tigers, man. Why do you believe in these Detroit Tigers who are 3 games out, 3.5 back in the division, which is the only way for the Tigers to make the playoffs will be to win the division. They are not going to win a wild card.
Yes.
They're too far back. It's the division or bust. The White Sox 3.5 games ahead
They
right
can
now.
win both.
And the Guardians are
They can win both.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't say the wild card's out of play because it is only 1 game back. However, in the AL Central, I do think that is the path. I do think the AL Central will be the path. I do think the White Sox will tail off. But at the end of the day, with trading Skubal, this is a free roll. Like we're just balling out here. Like it's just we're having a good time. We're exciting to watch. We got a lot of young talent. We got Dingler and McGonigal, who are both MVP candidates in some people's regard.
Heck yeah.
So it's exciting, and this is the first time that there's been this type of buzz around the Detroit Tigers with this many high class young superstars since the beginning of the JV Scherzer era. It's a good. It's in terms of if we didn't just trade Skubal. We would be in a very fun, great spot as a franchise.
We were in this spot with Skubal.
Cap, you know why they're going to the playoffs? You could take away their jet. They'll drive on a terrible bus. You take away their whirlpools. Doesn't matter. It's addition by subtraction. And these boys have been challenged. They are stepping up. You know where this is from. These guys are going to the playoffs. I have a chat that I sent to the whole Woodward 2.0 chat thread, all 30 of us, and I got my receipt. I called it before the Skubal trade. The moment he left, these guys are going to rile up. I'm telling you, Bray, world or a wild card or taking the whole damn division, doesn't matter. They're playing in the playoffs.
Well, congratulations if they do. I mean, this division sucks. It's the worst. It's the worst division in the worst division on the worst side. So if they make it, they make it. But to make it, they got to go against the Cleveland Guardians who have been a thorn in their side. Dare I say existence? But I'll just say the last 10, 15 yards. The Cleveland Guardians have kept the Tigers from doing a lot of things they want to do. White Sox getting better, don't necessarily know about that. And then the Royals are abysmal, so maybe they have some chance there. That end of the season, though, when you're really going to need those games, guess who comes to town? It will be Tarek Skubal and the Dodgers, as well as the Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
I saw that.
I will say that the Dodgers are playing like shit currently. I mean, that can snap in a second, but as of right now, there's no better time for the Dodgers to come to town. There's no better time for Skubal to come to town, sporting his 4.09 ERA. Yeah. However, it would be very Tigers-esque.
18 days from now.
It would still be very Tigers-esque, Braylon, like I was about to say, for Skubal to put a couple quality starts together over his next 2 starts and be boning and ready to go for that 3rd start in Comerica Park.
Tigers are going to make the playoffs. It's the crazy stuff they do. Like, the Tigers will make the playoffs, give you guys some hope, and then they'll go into a series with whoever, and they'll get to the 7th game, and they'll let you down.
And they'll lose.
So them making it to the playoffs, I'm not going to say that's far-fetched at all.
But that money.
Them getting past the first round, bet your life.
That money, though,
The moolah.
Sign some people. I mean, the playoffs are so lucrative in the MLB, man, and anything that gives them more to work with next year, because we know the youth movement's working.
Yeah, and then you have Scott Harris come back next year and tell you how good his guys played this year, how it hit this year, and we're not necessarily going to make a ton of major moves. It'll be interesting to see that. I do like that Max Clark and McGonigal, the wave of the future.
Yes, it's a youth movement.
I do enjoy that a lot. I do enjoy it a lot. Anything to clean up before we get out of here? Any conversations?
There's a new expansion team in Cleveland, just like the Baltimore Ravens.
Is this what happens now? Is this the thing? Like when I say things?
Yes.
When I say things,
we're gonna have a whole league. We're gonna have a whole league.
I'm
working on this logo when I get home, man.
This is Anson's thing.
There's gonna be like trees.
Anson loves this.
Is this when I mispronounce it?
The Baltimore Ravens by far will be the best one, but the Cleveland Gardeners way better than the Guardians, dude.
Gardeners sound like
if you're not gonna say pause, I'm gonna get something.
This is fair. I cannot say pause anymore, man. I'm 43. I'm tired of saying pause. At what point do you retire the game?
He's got to play his game.
I got to retire the game.
You
man.
and KG were egregious offenders. Now he is the undisputed champion of pause.
Yeah. Pause.
Shout out KG.
It's like the wave hit when I was doing the show. I was like, man, this pause thing, I've been doing this since 99?
Yeah, but you were saying that's what she said.
No, we were saying no. We were saying what you can't say anymore. We were saying no.
No Diddy.
That part.
You can't say that?
Well, we weren't saying Diddy. We were saying
H.
There you go.
No promo.
Yeah, no promo.
Facts. And we were saying that.
We didn't do a promo today. No promo.
Oh, this is the promo. The promo is the Braylon Network Show Live, man, which is a hell of a show, man. Shout out to the crew. Everybody got this thing rocking and rolling. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, the fan, man. We appreciate you guys for getting that chat rocking and rolling every single day. You show up and you show out, and we appreciate it.
It came with no promo.
I was excited to get on air. I was ready to rock and roll,
Flex
man.
isn't here to be.
You know me and the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Gardeners. You got jokes. I'm gonna get my league up and running, man.
Well, you know who else will be in there?
Oh Lord, who?
The New York Peasants, baby. Let's go.
And that's how we'll end the show, man. For Sweet Potato Cam, B-Lad, Justin over there, my right hand, and then my host, Anson Wells. We are the Braylon Network Show.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.